Now in this video, we will discuss on general insurance aspect. Friends, this is the second lecture that I am taking online on the topic general insurance unit 5. So I welcome you all for this uh, lecture series 2, where we will be discussing on health insurance in this topic. This health insurance is a vast topic actually, a part of general insurance. So it covers around 11 important discussion points in your syllabus. The first one is health insurance, individual medical expenses insurance. Third one is long-term care coverage. Fourth one is disability income insurance. Fifth one is mediclaim policy. Sixth one is group mediclaim policy. Personal accident policy, child welfare policy, employee group insurance, features of group health insurance, and group availability plans. So all these informations we cannot discuss all these topics in a single lecture for health insurance. So therefore, I divided this health insurance topic into two different lecture series. The second lecture covers only first six important discussion points. That is health insurance, individual medical expenses insurance, long-term care coverage, disability income coverage, mediclaim policy, group mediclaim policy. We will discuss in this lecture series. The remaining aspects like personal accident policy, child welfare policy, employee group insurance, features of group health insurance, group availability plans will be discussed in the next lecture series. Now let us understand what the health insurance is. As you know that health is a very important asset of every individual. If there is a saying in English, if you lose wealth, nothing is lost because wealth can be regained. If you lose a character, something is lost, but once you lose the health, everything is lost. So health is wealth. Therefore most of the people are taking are feeling that health is the most essential element. If healthy person is only can work effectively, healthy person only can enjoy life. Therefore health maintenance is a most important aspect of every human life. But unfortunately, health maintenance is a very costly because health expenditures are going to skies. Medical facilities and and operations and all related services of the medical sector is very high. Therefore, in order to help the individuals to maintain their quality health, health insurance came into existence. Health insurance is an insurance product which covers medical and surgical expenses of an insured individual. It reimburses the expenses incurred due to illness or injury or pays the care provider of the insured individual directly. So, like other insurance, this is also a kind of agreement or contract between the insurance company and the policyholder, where the insurance company will promise to compensate the medical expenditures incurred by the policyholder in case of any medical emergencies, and it receives the premium. And this health insurance is covered under a general insurance contract, because general insurance companies only will deal in the health insurance, because health insurance is a indemnity kind of a contract. If there is a illness, if the person undergoes any kinds of treatments, then only the expenditures or the loss incurred due to health problems will be compensated by the insurance company. If no, if nothing happens, then no compensation shall be paid. For example, if a person takes a health care policy for mediclaim policy for a 1 year period of time, if he pays a particular amount of insurance premium to the insurance company will reimburse his expenditure if he falls sick or if he undergoes a medical treatment and gets hospitalized only during that particular period of time, that is 1 year. If he does not claim, if he does not claim the benefit, then insurance contract will get exhausted. The premium paid will not be returned to the policy holder if he does not claim. So this is purely a insurance, general insurance kind of a contract. A health insurance program's main functions, the main important why this health insurance came into existence, the main important functions are to increase access to health care, that is helping the policy holders to access the health care uh, requirements. Because in a country like India, most of the people, not only country like India, even in developed country like US, Canada, Germany and all that, the medical expenditures are very huge. Therefore, the healthcare industry services are not taken so easily by the people. Most of the people will give up the interest to survive, basically because interest to take this treatment, basically because the health expenditures are very huge. It is estimated that most of the people in country like India will suffer. That is, it is estimated 65% of the population will suffer from the debts and loans, basically because of the heavy medical expenditures. Heavy medical expenditures. Therefore, a medical expenditure is a huge. In order to get this benefit, to reduce the burden of the medical expenditure and expose to the healthcare services, this insurance policy came into existence. And the second one is to protect households from high medical expenditure at the time of illness. In case of illness, when the emergency comes out, people will be having a difficulty to sustain that unexpected expenditure, a huge unexpected expenditure. So out of pocket expenditure may not be possible because all the time money will not be there in the hands of the people. And second one is sometimes people will be selling their assets or going for the loans and advances to protect the households from all these kind of medical expenditures. This health insurance came into existence, and we should appreciate the health insurance providing companies for helping the people to get the good health. Need for health insurance, why health insurance is most needed and why that market is emerging a lot. And today if you see, health insurance companies are expanding their services to a large group of population in country like India. It is even going for the rural support also. Not only the private health insurance companies, even the government health schemes and even the community health schemes are also coming out today to provide health services to the people, because the health insurance is most needed in the country. The first important point why health insurance is needed, because increasing medical expenditure due to inflation in medical sector. If you see, there is a huge amount of inflation in the medical sector. Inflation in the sense the prices of the pharmacy products, that is the medicines, and also the service charges of the health providers, healthcare providers like doctors, nurses, and specialty surgeons, and all that is increasing day by day. It is basically because there is a huge demand for this, and the supply of these services, medical services, is limited in our country. Therefore, there is a huge medical expenditure increasing year by year, which is not affordable for a common man to take the best medical services for his health and survival. Next one is difficult to arrange a huge amount of funds to meet the medical emergencies. In case of medical emergencies, accumulated funds may not be sufficient to meet the medical expenditure. The huge medical expenditure may collapse the family to larger extent. Therefore, health insurance is found to be a solution for this kind of a problems. Next one is health policies provide flexible treatment options, that is cashless treatment as well as reimbursement of medical cost after treatment, etc. So the health policy providers provide a cashless treatment. What is a cashless treatment? When the patients get admitted in the hospital, and if he has a medical policy, the policy provider, that is a health insurance companies, will promise the hospitals that whatever the expenditure incurred for the treatment of the policyholder will be paid by the policy directly. Therefore, the hospitals or the health care providers will provide the treatment without taking a single penny from the policy holders. And after the treatment is over, when the total expenditure will be submitted to the insurance company by the hospitals and reimburse the funds. This is what we call as cashless treatment. And there is a one more option, that if the cashless treatment is not possible due to certain problems, or if there is no such kind of agreement available in the insurance, in the health insurance contract, then the policy holders can take the treatment from the hospitals, collect all the expenditure receipts and submit it to the insurance company for reimbursement. So therefore, this kind of expenditure need is there with the health insurance. Then provide a tax exemption to policyholders, which would help to afford health policy. If you consider the health investments, health insurance investments and all that is a tax exempted in the Indian Income Tax Act, or even in the corporate tax policies. The payments made towards the premium of health insurance is subject to the rebate under ATC and ATG, under ATC and ATG provisions. Then last one is supports for the growth of medical sector. Another one is medical sector growth was so difficult before the introduction of this health insurance, because it could be able to provide services only to 10 to 15% of the total population. And when the expenditures are too huge and not affordable by the uh, people, that is below poverty or middle class people, then the medical sector was not so growing. So when the health insurance came into existence, it has boosted up the demand side for the health services, due to the ability to pay for the expenditures of the uh, health sector. Therefore, because of this, the development in the medical sector could also be identified. So many companies came with the pharmacy brands. Many hospitals came into existence and all that. Now, the basic principles, as we have already seen the principles applicable to life insurance, we have already seen the principles applicable to general insurance in the previous lecture discussions. Now, let us understand what are the principles which affects to the health insurance contract. The health insurance contract is also subject to the principles of insurance, wherein when the contract has to be established. The first one is utmost good faith. Utmost good faith, we have already seen that policy holders should reveal, the person who is purchasing the insurance policy should reveal all the facts about his uh, status of health and declare everything which is true to the insurance company, so that insurance company can model a particular premium, can model a particular health policy for the uh, uh, customer. Now, health insurance company should also declare all the plans and all the informations to the insurance buyers. So this is what utmost good faith. This utmost good faith is having a difficulty in health insurance because of moral hazard. What we call as moral hazard is the attitude of the people who are not morally acting while entering into a contract. So this possibility is more in the health insurance, because most of the some of the people who hide their health problems and give a false representation of the quality of the health at the time of entering into a contract. In such cases, insurance companies will suffer a lot. once the utmost good faith thing uh, expire is not satisfied. So therefore, in order to get the perfect information about the pre-existing diseases or about the health status of the uh, prospective customers, even the health insurance companies also undergo investigations for health quality of the policyholders, customers. They take the help of the medical aid, doctors, practitioners for taking an opinion on the health of the insured person. So this is what the post good faith. Next one is insurable interest that we have already seen. Insurable interest must be present at the time of entering into a contract, where the person can take a policy, health policy, only on the people in whose life his interest is there. It cannot be taken on the person's life whose existence or survival has any impact on the policy holders, person taking the policy. That we have already seen clarified. But in this case, insurable interest should be present at the time of entering into contract. At the time of the claim, not necessarily that insurance interest should be missing, present, should be present. Only in case of marine insurance, it is mentioned. So, principles of indemnity, that it is purely applicable to this insurance contract. It is a pure general insurance contract. Principle of indemnity talks about compensating only to the extent of the loss happened to the policy holders. In this case, insurance companies does not compensate to the full value of the uh, assured value of the policy. It will compensate only to the extent of the medical expenditures or only to the extent of the medical cost incurred by the policy holders. Suppose if you take a 10 lakhs rupees insurance policy, and during that particular, if you are hospitalized and only 1 lakh is spent on the medical expenditure, then insurance company will only compensate 1 lakh rupees, not more than that. Principle of double insurance is also applicable here. Principle of double insurance talks about if a policyholder takes more than one insurance, health insurance policy, then if the medical expenditure is incurred, in this case, the only incurred medical expenditure will be paid to him in contribution by the both the insurance companies. So at any condition, both the insurance companies will not give the same amount, where the insurance policyholder will get a benefit out of that particular sort of injuries or medical emergencies. So in case of heavy expenditures, normally one single company may not be able to compensate the value. In such cases, insurance policyholder may take a one more health insurance from another insurance company. So when the heavy expenditure comes, proportionately it will be divided by the two insurance companies with which this insurance person has undergone a contract. Next one is principle of proximate cause. This is also applicable to this insurance, health insurance contract. Principle of proximate cause refers to the health hazards should have happened due to certain reasons. That is, if the policy terms is including, policy contract is including critical illness, the illness should have happened due to the critical problems like the AIDS, cancer, or stroke, or any kinds of severe attacks and all that. If the injury happens to the person by falling down without having any critical illness, in such cases, insurance may not compensate. Insurance companies may not compensate. So, a cause of ill health should be mentioned in the contract at the time of entering into a contract. See, there is a kind of different types of policies which cover different causes of the health hazards. Like for example, in case of some medical policies, accident and injuries are also covered. In some policies, only general kind of a illness is covered. General kind of a illness will be hospitalization for fever, hospitalization for pneumonia, and all kinds of things, but does not cover critical illness or may not cover the accidental medical services. So in such cases, the cause of illness, cause of hospitalization is mentioned. That is called the principle of proximate cause. Now we have different types of kinds of insurance policies available. One is called as individual medical expenses insurance and group medical expenses insurance. So what is that individual expenses? Individual medical expenses insurance is a contract of insurance covering a single person health expenses is called as individual health expenses. In this case, an individual will take the policy for his medical expenditures. So it is a single coverage. Single coverage refers to one person will be covered in the contract. It is normally adopted by the individuals who are earning members in the family, prone to undergo huge medical expenses if hospitalized. If hospitalized, if the huge medical expenditure, if it is anticipated, individual medical policy will be covered. There is one more in individual medical expenses, which is called as a floater policy. Floater policy in the sense one single premium will cover the additional members of the family. Like if a husband takes a policy, a floater policy, in a one single premium, his medical expenditures or his wife's medical expenditure of his children medical expenses will be covered. So when any one of the family members undergoes a medical expenditure, insurance will pay compensate for that. If all the people will be admitted in the hospital due to common health reasons, then the maximum amount of the insurance can be claimed by the party. So this is what we call as individual medical policies. And we have group medical expenses insurance also. An insurance contract covering more than one individual medical expenses is called as a group insurance. This kind of insurances are taken by the employers to cover the medical expenditures of employees working in the organization. This is we will discuss these kind of informations in next slides in detail. Next one is types of health insurance. If you see the health insurance types, there are three different categories normally we can identify in country like India or in any developed countries also. These things can be found out. The first classification is social insurance schemes. The second one is private health insurance plans, and third one is community-based insurance uh, plans. Social insurance refers to in order to provide the social justice of a good health to everyone, the central government and state governments have come out with certain schemes in order to protect the lives of the uh, citizens of the country. The central health schemes are the schemes where the central government is spending the money from its income, that is taxable income, or from its treasury in order to support the health of the people working for the uh, uh, country. That is a central government employees or central government uh, workers. The next one is we have employee state insurance, where the state governments are performing this. It is a central government project, but the benefit is taken by the state insurance states, where it is provided to the workers of the lower income group who are unable to undergo any medical expenditure when it is very huge. They embrace the death, but they do not go for the medical hospitals in order to take the uh, services, basically because it is very costly. In order to avoid such kind of things, the state government has come out with a state insurance policy, ESI facility, for all the workers whose salary is below 15,000. It is mandatory for all the workers working in any sector, whether it is organized or unorganized, if their income level is below 15,000. And if it is more than 15,000 per month, then it is an optional one, where if it is required can be taken by the person, the workers, or maybe implemented by the uh, organizations or maybe industries. It is a contributory kind of a system, contributory kind of a system, where the employee and employer together will accumulate that premium and pay it to an agency, central government agency, to provide the medical facilities. So there are separate hospitals established in the country called ESI hospitals, where the treatment is provided at a free cost if the person is having a ESI policy. Then we have universal health schemes in order to help all the population, whether he is an organized sector worker, unorganized sector worker, and all that. These facilities are made available, especially for the peasants or farmers in the village area who are in need of medical facilities and all that. The government has come out with the universal health schemes. On the other side, we have private health schemes also. We'll discuss each one of them in detail. Social health insurance schemes. These health schemes are run and managed by the government. There are basically three categories: the central government health scheme, the employee state insurance scheme, and universal health insurance scheme that we have already seen. The central government health scheme is a contributory health scheme of the central government which covers the health expenses of the central government workers. Even prime ministers, Supreme Court judges who are the central government employees are covered under this scheme. Even for MLAs, MPs, and all peoples will be covered under this health insurance, central government health insurance scheme. It is a contributory kind of a thing where some portion of the salary or some portion of the payments made to these workers will be deducted, and the same amount of money will be contributed by the central government, and it is paid to an agency, insurance agency, who is providing the health services to the workers, to these workers. So it is a contributory in the sense both the parties, the employer and employee together, will pay money to the this kind of services. So employee state insurance is also similar to that, but it covers the workers working in the state government jobs. Health schemes for low income workers, especially in organized sectors like industry, hospitals, etc. Then we have universal health schemes. These are launched by the government to help the poor people. The schemes like Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana, Aam Aadmi Bima Yojana, Yashaswini Yojana, Janashri Bima Yojana, Ayushman Bharat Yojana, etc. In this case, the utmost good faith or pre-existing kind of a disease, these things are not considered while providing these facilities. The government will announce all the hospitals to spend a um, maximum amount of money, that is maximum limit is mentioned for the treatment of the poor people. Any person who falls below that particular PPL line, below poverty line, if he produces the documents proving that he is the person eligible for that, then these facilities are provided by the hospitals and the money will be reimbursed from the central government. So this is what we call as a universal health schemes. The health scheme like Yashaswini, which was launched by Karnataka state government. Now it is being modified in different systems. In Yashaswini, any person whose income level per year is less than 5 lakhs could submit all the documents of his identity, like Aadhaar card and his income proof. Then in any government hospital or even in any some private hospitals who are linked with Yashaswini, were provided the were providing the health services. So it was helping the people to undergo heart operations, eye operations, and even for the severe hospitalization and all that, where the government was reimbursing the money to the maximum tune of 1 lakh rupees and all that. And there is a BPL medical facilities available for all the people in the country who fall in that particular category. So these are the different yojanas or plans which are implemented by the central government under universal health schemes, where the certain portion of the money will be kept aside. Okay. Then private health insurance in India. So the private health insurance provided by private organizations, they cover individual health policies, family floater health policies, and unit linked health policies. So in private health insurance in India, there are many private players because of after 1999, when sorry, after 1991, when the liberalization is a policy was implemented, even the foreign companies are allowed to enter into the general insurance field. And after 1999, when IRDA, that is Insurance Regulatory and Regulatory Authority of India, came into existence after 1999, there is a huge liberalization given in the general insurance sector, where the privatization is made, where a lot of private companies today are operating in the health insurance industry. So, to name of some of them is ICICI Lombard Health Insurance, Star Health Insurance, HDFC, Ergo Health Insurance, Apollo, Munich Health Insurance, Bajaj Alliance Health Insurance, SBI Health Insurance, Max Bupa Health Insurance, and Religare Health Insurance. Like this, there are many other things also. These are the notable insurance companies providing the health insurance schemes to in people. The private insurance policies are classified into basically four categories. One is individual mediclaim, second one is a family floater, third one is unit linked health plans, and group insurance schemes. The individual mediclaim policy is a unique policy type of a policy provided by the private health organizations. It is a more attractive kind of a thing, and most of the middle class and upper middle class populations having a ability to pay for the premiums can go for this kind of a mediclaim policy. This mediclaim policy uh, gives an option to the provides the services like hospitalized expenditure. This is the simplest form of health insurance. As the name suggests, individual mediclaim offers risk coverage to an individual towards hospitalization expenses. The premium amount is as per the value of the sum assured value. In this type of health insurance plan, you can buy independent healthcare policies for each member of your family. In this case, depending on the amount of the premium, the medical expenditures are incurred. Suppose if you are able to pay a 15,000 rupees uh, insurance premium for a 1 year, so medical expenditure to the tune of 5 lakhs can be covered under this. Some riders are also added to this because cashless hospitalization and all that, where the premium cost will be little more. And depending on the age and health hazards possibilities for the individual, the premium will vary in this mediclaim policy. We will discuss this mediclaim policy in detail in the next slides. The second one is a family floater policy that we have already seen, one single premium covering the health of various family members. That is called a floater. Floater is a single type of a premium which covers the health of all the people, where normally the premium cost will be more, health floater cost will be more. This is suitably adopted to safeguard the health of the whole family. Floater means a single sum insured can cover all members in a one policy, and the sum assured is available to any of members or to all the members in case of any eventuality during the term of the healthcare policy. The premium amount paid in case of family floater policy is generally lower as compared to individual health policy. If you take individual health policy, will be 15,000 something like that by the Lombard, ICICI or Star Health. But if you take a group policy, family policy, it will be 20,000 rupees. But if you take an individual person's total, the per head cost will be less as compared to individual policy. This is how the floater policies work in India. Next one is unit linked health plans. This is not so popular plans in the country like India today, but some of the companies, that is ICICI and all that, are coming with a unique unit linked health policy. It is a similar, it is a kind of investment also. Normally in general insurance, what happens, if the indemnity is there, problem is there, it is compensated. But in this unit linked health policy, the premium which is charged will be for two portions in it. One first portion will go for the medical expenditure insurance premium, and the second portion will go for the investments. If the policy matures after that particular time, whatever the insurance unit linked policies are contributed in that particular thing will be given to the person with the lump sum money if no medical emergencies arise in that particular period of time. So this is a unit linked policy. But returns in such a unit linked policy definitely depends on the stock market performances in India. Such plans are still considered as a new and are still in development stage, not so common in the country like India. Next, we have a group insurance schemes which are normally provided by the private companies. Group insurance is a contributory insurance system wherein each group member pays to his portion of premium to a common insurance fund of the organization. The organization pays a collected premium to insurance companies. The compensation is made to the members for health related expenditures through that organization, which provides a group insurance scheme. Then we have community-based health insurance services are also available. Community refers to a particular class of a population. It is a group kind of a insurance system. This kind of a health insurances are formed by the voluntary contributions of the members pertaining to a specific community at their organization level. An example is like the professors of a university come together and form a corpus fund for pooling the health risks. This kind of a health benefit is available only to the members of that particular community. So it is a like community itself can undergo such kind of these things. When the government agencies are when the government agencies or private health companies are unable to provide health, when the government agencies or private health cares are unable to provide the health insurance services, then such community-based health insurance companies will emerge. And say, for example, the particular missionaries, Christian missionaries, may develop a particular healthcare policy for their own people. They may even run hospitals also, missionary hospitals also, to compensate, to help the people for medical emergencies and all that. And money will be collected in the form of the premium, and they will have their own setup. That is what we call as community-based health. And so the important characteristics of community health insurance are: it is a voluntary initiated scheme. It is not compulsory. Those who want to avail the health facilities may go for this community. It cannot be made compulsory like the government insurance schemes. Then flat insurance premium contributed by each member, whether his age is more or less, nothing is seen. A common, the total expected medical expenditure will be divided on the people in equal basis. Say, for example, when the person is fixed that he has to pay 1,500 rupees or 1,500 rupees per month, irrespective of his salary, he has to pay 15,000. Like that, a corpus fund will be created. Third one is pooled fund, left out after the compensation is utilized as a capital and invested to earn additional income. So this additional income will help to develop the corpus fund for helping the health of the people. The fund is managed by the in-house mechanism, or third-party administrations are appointed for managing the insurance services. So either the fund is managed by the officials of the same organizations, if who are having the knowledge in the insurance sector, and they can work on that with the separate setup as per where um, if it is a public limited company, it should be established under 1956 Companies Act, and a separate board has to be prepared for this kind of uh, health insurance projects and all that. And if it is not so well developed mechanism for managing the health insurance funds, then it can be given to a third party administrators who are appointed for the managing insurance services. Experts are there who are called as third party administrator. Who are third party, we will see it in the next slide. Then this type of health insurance services are not for profit. It is a non-profit kind of a motive. There there is no profit earned out of this kind of facility in the organization. In order to help self-help kind of a concept, these community-based insurances came into existence. It is a group insurance health scheme normally. It is not an individual kind of a health schemes. Now, long-term care coverage policies. Uh, the long-term care coverage policies, insurance is a cover that provides nursing home care, home health care. So it is a kind of exhaustive, big kind of a policy. It is not like a medical claim policy and all that. It is a old type of a policy where the coverage is for a long period of time. Long period of time. Normally, health insurances cover the short period for 1 year, less than 1 year, but the long-term care policy covers the long-term expenditures on medicines. Normally, in the old age people who attain age of 65 and above may become dependents for the health requirements. So during that particular time, the long-term expenditures because of old age disabilities and all that, uh, they may not be supported by the family holders. These kind of people will take this policy, and the insurance company will pay for the maintenance of the life of medical facilities. For maintenance of their life is reimbursed uh, by the policyholders from the insurance contract. Insurance is coverage provides a nursing care. It provides a nursing care, home care, even if the person is not hospitalized because of disability of the old age, maybe Parkinson disease, or if he is paralysis, having a paralysis, will appoint a nurse and take the services of the health care. In such cases, nursing expenditures and home care expenditures will be paid by the covered under the policy. Then it is home health care, personal or adult daycare for individuals age 65 or with the chronic or disability conditions that needs constant supervision. These expenditures will be covered here. The medical expenditure for several years will be covered under this policy, but normally this policy is very costly, not so much famous in country like India, but it is very famous in advanced country like US and Canada and Germany, where the people who are prone to old age difficulties and all that will opt for this policy during their young age and take the benefit at the older ages. The main important features of this type of long care coverage policies are: this insurance contract covers a long-term treatment expenses. This kind of a policy provide monthly health care expenses. So in certain cases, what happens, when the person needs a several years treatment after a paralysis or something like that, every month expenditure is calculated. Insurance company will be paying that health expenditures on monthly basis to this kind of policy holders. So out of that expenditure income, out of that compensation, they can take the help of a services and staying at their home also. Uh, it covers the expenditure like nurse and healthcare experts, service expenses on a daily basis, or even the medicine cost are involved in this. It can also help to stay in nursing homes for a long treatment protocols. If at all long treatment protocols are there, medical limb policies and all that may not be provided long term. Maximum hospitalization days are mentioned in the medical limb policies and new health policies. But here in this case, no maximum days are mentioned. As long as you stay in the hospital, even when the person is hospitalized, his income will be stopped because of ill health. He may not be doing a job or he may not be doing a business. That loss of income is also some covered as an additional rider in this long coverage policies. This insurance policy is more expensive, obviously, because the lot of anticipated risks are involved. So normally insurance companies charge huge amount of premium for this kind of policy. It is most suitable for old age or disabled people. Old age and disabled people normally take this kind of a policy. Now we have a disability policy. Disability policy insurance is a type of insurance uh, that will provide income in the event of a worker is unable to perform their job. Disability is an inability of the body due to injuries, accidents, and all that. And disabilities may be permanent disability or a short-term disability. So when the person gets this kind of disabilities, he may not be able to work properly. Therefore, the health insurance policies will cover an additional feature called a disability feature in its health policy. Like for example, when the person gets an injury, he is hospitalized. So hospital expenditures are incurred by the medical policy. In addition to that, if the person gets a disability due to injury and unable to work in the organizations for several years, so his income is also being compensated under the policy. This is what we call as disability policy. And disability policies are also very famous, but it is a bit costly. There are many types of organizations that provide a different types of disability insurance. Each organization and disability insurance type have a specific rules as to what constitutes a disability. Here it is the particularly the cause of disability is mentioned. Cause of disability is mentioned. If the person is working on the job, disability happens due to machine accidents and all that, so persons will be taken under the policy. There are certain companies which mention the disability happening due to car accidents. There are certain companies which will cover the disability happening falling down on from the floor. So then, like, there are many disabilities are mentioned. Normal disabilities which are covered in the normal disability policies are the factory injuries making the person disabled to work. For example, if the person loses a left hand while by the cutting machine due to certain negligence in the job, and this losing of a hand will create a permanent disability in him, and lifelong he will be suffering. In such cases, the permanent disability policy will provide a continuous monthly income support for his health related aspects throughout his life. This is what we call as permanent disability. There are two types of disability policies. One is short-term disability insurance and long-term disability insurance. In case of a short-term insurance facilities, the person disability remains only for a short period of time. So within the 6 months or maybe within 3 months, he will recover from the disability and can go do his uh, earning jobs, income in the jobs. But here the insurance policy will cover the expenditures for disability kind of a thing only for 3 months or maximum of 6 months. So this is what we call as short-term disability insurance policy. And we have one more option called a long-term disability insurance. Offers a worker a portion of their salary if they are unable to work for a long period, typically a period of over 6 months, more than 6 months. Even it goes for 10 years, 15 years also for the disabled person. The long term is decided depending on the type of the insurance contract. Both short term and long term disability policies have a period that a person must be disabled for before that individual is able to start receiving the disability benefit. So that is what we call as uh, person must be able to before that individual able to start the benefits. The period of time is called as elimination period. So disability policy will consider disability only if the person passes a elimination period. What is an elimination period? Elimination period is a recovery period. If the person is unable to recover his health during this elimination period, then disability is defined. If the person gets a recovery within this elimination period, then disability does not persist. He will become a healthy person after that elimination period. Normally 1 month to 3 months is an elimination period. If the person does not recover with all that medical support and all that, disability can be identified in him. Like for example, if a person undergoes a stroke, and because of that paralysis body gets paralyzed, his disability emerges. But disability will be decided as a disability only for a elimination period, only after the elimination period. Say for example, if he is hospitalized for 6 months, in spite of a continuous treatment, if after within 6 months if he is not able to recover, then disability can be certificate can be issued by the hospital, and for that particular person only disability benefits will be provided. Now, who can take a disability policy? Any person who is prone to disability possibilities may take this policy. Usually, the workers working on machine shops, where risk of disabilities are more. Pilots, uh, pilots of the aircrafts, workers working in mines, construction industry, people working in the construction industry may opt for this policy. This policy is taken individually or in a group. Normally, factory employees will take this kind of a policy on their workers, factory employers. It is normally a group policy. Moreover, it is a group policy. Individual policies are also available. Now we have one more type of attractive policy, that is Mediclaim policies. Mediclaim is an insurance product that reimburses the expenses uh, incurred in the event of hospitalization or domiciliary care it can either reimburse expenses when insured submit a relevant bills, or enable him to have a entirely cashless hospitalization where the insurer will directly deal with the hospital. So it is a mediclaim policy. Mediclaim in the sense claiming the medical expenditure policy. So either it is a cashless where the uh, policyholder need not require to pay any cash in the hospital where he is taking a, because that hospital is connected to the insurance uh, company list of hospitals where the bills submitted by the hospitals are paid by the insurance companies. So there is a agreement between the hospital and the insurance companies where the cashless facility is provided to the policyholders of that particular insurance company. And sometimes if it is not in the category of connected hospitals, if the insurance policyholders takes the medical support from the hospital which is not connected to the insurance company, then he has to pay money from his pocket, and then the total expenditure can be reimbursed from the insurance company. So this is what we call as mediclaim policy. In this mediclaim policy, only certain expenditures are uh, compensated, like uh, hospitalization expenditures, then the nurse expenditures, medical expenditures, and staying facility in the hospital expenditure. All these things are covered. But post-hospitalization expenditures and pre-hospitalization expenditures are normally not covered in Mediclaim policy. Any expenditure made in the hospital only will be covered under the policy. And to claim the benefits of this policy, there is a condition that the person should be admitted at least for 24 hours in a hospital. Then only it can be claimed. If it is just a consultation made to the hospital, that expenditure will not be covered under the Mediclaim policies. Now, the premiums that are payable on the mediclaim policies differ from insurer to insurer companies, from person to person, depending on certain aspects. What are the factors which influence the premium payment systems in the mediclaim policy? Because same premium is not charged to everyone. So if the age is the first influencing factor. If the age is less, then the premium will be normally less. Normally, this kind of insurance policies will be available for the people who are above 5 years of age and below 80 years of age. 5 to 80 years is the ranging period. If the person takes a policy at a young age, the premium charged will be less because health hazards are estimated to be less. The more the age is, the higher the premium is. Then family cover, you can provide a mechanism that the family can be covered. Whole family, husband, wife, and two children below the age of 25 years are covered under this policy. If the children are above the age of 25 years, may not be covered under this medical policy. Even this policy can also cover the dependents, like father, mother, who are in the old age, depending on their health analysis and the quality of the health, premium is charged. Now, overseas mediclaim policies are also very famous in today's world. Overseas policies are the policies which give the medical facilities for those who are traveling from one country to another country. Even in any part of the country which are mentioned in the policy agreement, they can go and take the medical help in that particular country. Then claims are administered largely through third party administrations these days, but a few insurance deal with the claim in the in-house. So claims are normally these medical policies are exercised by the third party administrations. What is third party administrations? We will see it in the next slide. Then this mediclaim policy is also subject to tax benefits under section 80D of Indian Income Tax Act, are available up to rupees 15,000 on a mediclaim premium for yourself, for a single person, spouse, and dependent children, and additional of rupees 15,000 of a tax exemption for the insurance. So this is subject to get the benefits, tax benefits. Now, third party administration in mediclaim. The third party is an expert people, administering people who can help these health insurance companies for administrating the health policies, because normally general insurance is undertaken by these companies, but if they are entering into health insurance sector management becomes difficult for most of the insurance companies. In this case, they will undergo a separate contract with the third party administration contract. What these third party administrators do, they are well connected with the health practices and all that. Therefore, they help the insurance companies to execute their health insurance policies effectively in the market. The third party administrations are prominent players in the healthcare industry and have the expertise and capability to administer all or a portion of the claims process. They are normally contacted by a health insurer or self-insuring companies to administer services including the claims administration, premium collection, enrollment, and other administrative activities. So these the third-party administrators, people will help the health insurance companies in collecting the premium, in executing the claims, and providing all the services to their customers. A hospital or a provider organization desiring to set up its own health plan will often outsource certain responsibilities to a third party administration. This is called outsourcing of the services of the healthcare services for the people. If you see the diagram, you can easily identify the working style of this. There are basically three important organizations will get emerged who are managed by this third party healthcare insurance companies, third party administrators. Now here, Good Health is a third party administrator. Good Health, he will be managing this company, will be managing insurance company, that is the health insurance policy provider, network hospitals. It will also manage the individual or corporate or the clients. So now issue renewal or mediclaim policies, issuing of mediclaim policies, renewal of mediclaim policies, and providing the services of the medical policies, all will be done by the third party. Now the insurance company provide all the data of their policy holders and cashless settlement data and everything to the third party. Third party insurance will maintain all the records of the individual. As and when the individuals or the clients approach to the network hospital for cashless kind of a treatment, that network hospital will forward the information of the individual to the third party healthcare third party administrator. Third party administration on behalf of the insurance company will check up the identity of the individual and the health amount provided to him and all that, and gives a uh, acceptance to the network hospitals to provide the services. If it is not acceptable, then it asks the individual to get the medical services and submit the bills afterwards for verifications and all that, because in certain cases some things may not be covered in the policy, so it will settle the expenditures to be made for the individuals health related aspects. So this is how third party insurances are moreover covered used in the health care industries. Next, we have types of mediclaim policies. There are many types of mediclaim policies in India: individual mediclaim, family floater, group mediclaim, overseas mediclaim, low cost mediclaim, senior citizen mediclaim, critical illness mediclaim. As the name itself indicates, its nature. Individual mediclaim is a mediclaim provided to the individual people. It is not a family. This one, family floater, in the sense it is covering the family members also. Group mediclaim, in the sense it covers the group members also. Groups are the organizations. Family is a blood related relations only. In case of group mechanism, insurable interest lies with the employer on his employees. Employers can approve the insurable interest. So this mediclaim policy can, group mediclaim policy can be taken. Overseas mediclaim policy is an individual mediclaim policy where the people who go abroad for their businesses and all that, if you get injured or having any medical emergencies, can take the medical expenditure, reimburse that medical expenditure, taking the services outside India. Then the low cost mediclaim is underprivileged masses, for underprivileged markets, employers of small income groups are provided the low mediclaim policies. Normally, these policies are supported by the central government funds. Then senior citizen mediclaim is for people aged above 60 are considered to be senior citizens. They are also provided this mediclaim policy services, which can be either by the children or by the missionaries who can provide the senior citizen mediclaim policies. Then the critical illness mediclaim is the mediclaim where the medical expenditure, where the expenditure for a critical illness. This is not a common kind of a medical policy. It is a special kind of a policy. Any customer who feels that a critical illness may happen to him, then he may take this policy. It is a little costly. Critical illness talks about the special types of illnesses like the cancer, stroke, AIDS, or Parkinson diseases. So some kinds of diseases are categorized as a critical illness mediclaim policy. In this critical cases, expenditure of the medical expenditure will be very huge, and it is for a long term. Therefore, a separate contract is entered with the insurance companies for this critical illness policies. Now, what are the benefits of mediclaim policy? Because most of the private insurance companies are providing this, and there are many benefits of this mediclaim policy than the general insurance, health insurance policies. The general health insurance policy is little bit different from the mediclaim policy. That difference we will see it in the next slide. The main important benefits are hospital charges. All direct charges that the customer incurs as a result of hospitalization, like operation theater charges, medicine, blood, oxygen, diagnostic materials, x-rays, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, then pacemakers, donor expenses. Sometimes some organs are donated for replacement of organs, like kidneys donated, or bone marrow is donated. So in such cases, the donors expenditures are also included in this charges depending on the contract type. Daycare treatment is a only certain certain kinds of diseases, like daycare treatment includes dialysis or chemotherapy and all that. These are also involved in this daycare, this thing benefit. Then pre and post hospitalization expenditure. Pre hospitalization talks about the investigations for identifying the disease. When the investigations are made and if the disease is identified, then the policyholder can even ask for the payment of the pre analysis expenditures. For a period of the post hospitalization refers to after discharging from the hospital, any medicines required for that particular thing will be covered for a period of 30 days before and up to 60 days after the hospitalization. Expenditures are covered under this mediclaim policy. Some special mediclaim policies even incur the ambulance charges also. Then hospital accommodation charges. If the hospitalization is made for weeks together, then hospital expenditure, room rent of the hospital, that admitted places will be provided. Then medical professional fees are also covered under this. So in this way, it is an exhaustive plan which is helping to cover. Then we have one more category called group mediclaim policy. What is this group mediclaim policy? It is a policy provided to the group. Normally, these group mediclaim policies are taken by the factories or industries, where the employer and employee together will contribute for the health benefits, expenses of the workers. So, the group medical policy to provide assistance to all the regular employees of the company and their dependents covered under this scheme in the event of hospitalization due to any diseases. So even the dependents of the workers are also covered under this policy. Normally, the people working in the high income category, executives and all that, provided a group medical policies. The main features are mediclaim coverage is up to age of 80 years. Medical coverage is up to age of 80 years. Even the parents of the workers whose age is below 80 years are also covered under this policy. Then waiver of pre-existing diseases. There is no pre-existing disease analysis made. Once you join an organization and pay the premium, you being an employee of the organization is eligible for these benefits. At any condition, the insurance company will not ask for pre-existing diseases and deny your medical expenditure when it occurs after joining the organization. So here, a minimum term of service is mentioned. When you join an organization, at least 1 year if you work there, then after the first year of your entry in the organization, if you suffer from any of the diseases which are covered under the Mediclaim policy, you can avail the expenditures through the organization from the insurance company. So here, normally insurance companies charge a huge amount of medical premium for this kind of a policy from the, and corporates are having the tax benefits for this. Therefore, they are able to contribute a huge amount of insurance premium for this kind of a policy, and it is also considered as a social benefit and compulsory under the workers support system in the organization. Then maternity coverage from the inception of the policy without waiting period. So here maternity coverage in the sense when the lady employee gets baby, the delivery, after the delivery, she normally does not come for the job, and she needs a medical rest as per the medical guidelines for 6 months. So the 6 months salary and expenditure incurred in the hospitalization and delivery expenditures and all that will be covered under this policy. Corporate buffer to the tune of 10 lakhs, this facility will also be there, where the corporate buffer, if at all that Mediclaim policy is not sufficient, 10 lakhs rupees is also given to the person to the maximum tune for keeping his health fit. Mediclaim on a floater basis. Under this floater scheme, there's some insured for the individuals. It is a floater kind of a things, because under one single premium only, all the people health will be covered under by the industry. So now, if you consider this Mediclaim policy, which is famous one, is a little bit different than the older health insurance policies, that's traditional health insurance policies. How these traditional health insurance are different from the Mediclaim insurance? There are around 5 important grounds on which we can differentiate. Type of coverage offered. If you see the Mediclaim policy, only for hospitalization, accidents, and pre-existing diseases for a certain limit, only to certain limit. This Mediclaim policy covers, and it is quick and very fast, only for hospitalization expenditure. But if you see the traditional insurance policies, it comprehensive coverage of the hospitalization, pre and post hospitalization charges, including ambulance expenses. Some plans even cover the compensation for income loss due to accidents. That is, due to accidents, if the income is lost, if the person is taking a disability help, it is covered under the health insurance, general health insurance, but not under the Mediclaim policy. No Mediclaim policy will provide the facility of disability coverage of loss of income and all that. Then coverage extensions, it offers, that is there is no coverage extensions in Mediclaim policy, but in case of old health policy, it offers additional coverage like accidental insurance, critical illness, and maternity coverage, which is not mentioned as a part of the discussion. As a part of the contract, it is automatically implemented. But in this Mediclaim policy, unless and until it is mentioned, it will not be covered under the policy. Then sum assured does not exceed 5 lakh rupees. The maximum Mediclaim policy is 5 lakh rupees, not more than that. But here it is more up to 6 crores also. In old health insurance contracts, if you take a policy, it is covering more than 6 crores. The limit is very huge, but here it is limited. The Mediclaim policy is limited. Cover for critical illness. Critical illness normally do not cover. If at all critical illness has to be covered, a separate contract has to be made, and separate premium is charged for that particular thing under Mediclaim policy style. But in case of health insurance, the critical illnesses are also covered. 30 critical illnesses are automatically covered as per the Insurance Regulation Act. Flexibility is covered. Mediclaim policy is not flexible. Mediclaim policy is not flexible because it has its own what you call as um, uh, strict rules as per the regulations of the IRD and all that. But flexibility is there. What kind of a flexibility? In case of traveling medical policies or abroad overseas medical policies, medical policies, any kind of treatment, protocol treatments can be taken in foreign countries also. It is covered under the policy. But here it is not like that. There are certain rules and regulations for doing this. So these are the basic differences. Now I will repeat once again what we have studied so far in this chapter. We have discussed on basically uh, we have discussed health insurance in its concept. We have discussed need for health insurance, principles applicable to health insurance, individual medical expenses and insurance group medical expenses, and types of health insurance we have seen. We have also seen the mediclaim policies, disability policies, mediclaim policies, third party administration in mediclaim policies, and types of mediclaim policies, benefits of mediclaim policies, group mediclaim policies, and the difference between the mediclaim policy and the health insurance, traditional health insurance things. So I thank all the students for patience hearing and understanding the topic. If there are any difficulties or any kinds of things you are having confusions, you can send me your questions by WhatsApp and uh, ask for the clarifications. So now we will end this online class. Thank you one and all.